I initially heard of gaintaining a long time ago. So it's basically the same sort of concept where you're at maintenance you're at maintenance and you're trying to gain muscle. And
This is, I also wanted to talk about this. This is a clip for itself. As someone, as you, who's a natural bodybuilder and who has like a very good physique and build up very good, you build up very good foundation. It's what I think. What is your opinion on main gaining?
so this is great because I initially heard of gaintaining a long time ago. So it's basically the same sort of concept where you're at maintenance you're at maintenance and you're trying to gain muscle. And this was years ago that I heard about this, and I took a dislike to gaintaining, and I therefore am not particularly fond of main gaining for most people in most situations, because I find that a lot of people just end up spinning their wheels. You don't see any progress, and you can be training balls to the wall, pushing yourself really hard. But if you aren't giving yourself that nutritional input of a surplus, the chances are you might not be growing muscle. I look at it this way. Growing muscle is like cycling uphill. It's very, very hard. You don't want to make it any harder. And so by having a surplus there, that's putting cards in your favor. That's like the body has the building blocks to grow new tissue. It's more anabolic that way. As soon as you remove that surplus, you just make it that little bit harder. And it's already a really hard process. So main gaining, I think, can definitely work. The literature has shown this. Certainly if you have excessive amounts of body fat, certainly if you're newer to lifting, main gaining is absolutely an option for you, because you have the energy stores there and you also are less adapted to weightlifting. The more advanced you are, the leaner you are, the less likely main gaining is going to lead to anything productive, and it could just lead to wheel spinning. It is never the most productive or most efficient use of your time. It's never the optimum way to go about things, because it's completely kept like it. When you want to grow something, a surplus is the quickest way to do that. When you want to lose something like body fat, a deficit is the quickest way to do that. It's the most efficient path. So main gaining is always a less efficient path. But for some people, psychologically or to their preferences, it might be the route that they want to take. So I don't often use it myself or with clients, because most of the time they want efficient and the most fast results. But for some people, it can work and it can be a productive thing. But I don't think the vast majority of people, at least that I work with, it would be the way to go.
Okay, interesting. We always hear in bodybuilding that you need to eat like 6 meals, 5 meals. You see a lot of bodybuilders eat a lot of meals spread out, and we know from the literature that if you spread out your protein, it's better for muscle growth, right? Because you have those amino acids in your bloodstream all the time. But I was actually wondering, what is your opinion on intermittent fasting with bodybuilding if you're natural?
So my opinion on that is probably similar to main gaining, in that I don't think it's ever the most efficient way on paper to someone's goals. And I say on paper because some people might just love intermittent fasting. That might be the only way that they can possibly adhere, because they really enjoy one single big feeding and they find, I don't know, their appetite just really upregulates if they don't have that. But like you said there's a reason bodybuilders have throughout the years, before we even had the science to suggest it, eat protein regularly through the day. Because we want to grow muscle, you need more muscle protein synthesis versus muscle protein breakdown. And you're going through both cycles through the day. So by having protein spread through the day, you can maximize your muscle protein synthesis. It will dip down and then you have some more protein. So then you maximize it again. So you're above the curve as often as possible. So by doing that, you're really maximizing your chances of growing muscle. When you just have it in one feeding, you can maximize it, and it has quite a long curve because it's digesting for a while. But the chances are, or we know this from the scientific literature, you're not in as net a positive muscle protein synthetic state. And I think that for maintaining muscle and kind of gaining muscle, it's definitely not stacking the cards in your favor to fast the majority of the day. The body wants to be in an anabolic fed state, and that's going to provide the best route for muscle growth. And if it's the best route for muscle growth, we can be pretty sure it's the same for muscle retention as well. So I'm not a big fan of intermittent fasting. If I was to use it with clients who really enjoy that, I prefer a modified approach where we might do one main meal, and then through the day, to get the muscle protein synthesis, we have protein boluses through the day. So they might just have like a protein shake and then some egg whites. And then their third meal of the day is the biggest. It has protein as well. So we kind of get the benefits of both. I don't think that's still ideal, because you probably want to place carbohydrates around your workout window for better nutritional timing, having the glycogen stores there ready available, the blood sugar for the training session. The recovery process is going to be superior that way. But I think that at least stacks a lot of the biggest thing intermittent fasting kind of obviates is nutritional timing. And so by having protein spread through the day along with that, you kind of get some of the benefits, at least of like a lot of the main benefits actually of what nutritional timing brings for us. And that doesn't go into all the psychological things, which I think are a big thing with intermittent fasting, because a lot of people go towards that when they love kind of almost like the binge purge mentality. But that's more of a experience. Through my experience of working with people, I've seen the ones that tend to like that kind of big meal and then fast have a bit of maybe a slightly more disordered eating pattern versus people who spread their food a little bit more normally and naturally through the day.
Yeah. What supplements do you recommend for all the natties out there?